And good morning. Welcome to the Don Bullock Chevrolet Morning Show right here on WHIG TV. It's Thursday morning. It's very nice outside this morning. Not hot. It's hot in here, but that's the way I like it. Don't like to be cold. So anyway, stay with us this morning. We've got some interesting, no guests today until 8 o'clock. We'll have the K-Files. But some very interesting things have come to light. And you'll find out what that is after the weather this morning. But we very interestingly have some breaking news this morning that just is hot off the press from yesterday. So you're going to want to listen up. And Tarboro, Edgecombe County citizens, especially have your ears open this morning. So anyway, right now we're going to go over to our local weather with meteorologist Fred Holsworth.
This weather segment is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. Accepting cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards. New extended hours in 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville.
And good morning, everyone. Time to take a look at our weather this morning. And those of you that like the heat and were a little bit disappointed in this cooler weather, well, you'll get your second chance again this weekend as we go back into the 90s. So, trying to give out something for everybody. High pressure across New England will slide offshore this morning, and then we'll have a series of upper level disturbances tracking southeastward over the region through tomorrow, and that is going to have a surface low pressure system with it moving through the Carolinas. So, chance of showers and thunderstorms will pop up in the next day or two. Let's take a look outside and check the current conditions. We have 61 degrees, the dew point at 57, relative humidity 88%, winds calm, and the barometer 30.15 inches. Over the state, let's take a look at the temperatures. We have starting off with the high temperature at the usual place, 75 at Piney Island, 70 at Hatteras, 57 Tarboro, 61 at Greenville, 59 at Washington. New Bern coming in with a 63. Beaufort, 66. 63 at Cherry Point, 64 at Bogue, 64 also at Wilmington, and 66 at Southport. The low temperatures, once again, are in the east at Ahoskie and at Roanoke Rapids, both reporting 55 degrees. The state average right now is 65 degrees and the low 20 degrees. Excuse me, the range between the low and the high, 20 degrees. Well, let's take a look at the forecast. And for today, there's a slight chance of some rain this morning, and then slight chance of afternoon showers with a high of 80. For tonight, mostly cloudy, chance of showers and storms, low of 68. Friday, mostly cloudy, showers likely, high of 80. Friday night, cloudy, chance of showers and storms, the low of 70. For Saturday, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 89. Saturday night, partly cloudy, a low of 70. Sunday, sunny, a high of 92. Sunday night, clear, a low of 73. And Monday, sunny with a high of 93. And Monday night, partly cloudy, a low of 74. Our high yesterday, 85, our low 63. Currently, we're at 61 degrees. And that's the first look at your local weather.
Okay, and welcome back. We'll go ahead and get some announcements out of the way this morning so we can get started into our topics. Don't forget, this weekend, go to see Mask. It's a group of young guys from Raleigh that are coming to Nash Arts. It's 7 o'clock Saturday night. It's going to be really good. It's rock and roll. So for those rock and rollers out there, you definitely want to go see this show Saturday at 7 o'clock at Nash Arts. So don't forget that. Also, don't forget they're having on August the 6th community worship service on Sunday, August 6th at 6 o'clock p.m. Word Tabernacle Church is where it will be held. It's a gathering of a lot of churches together. They've done this many times before. I think COVID kind of broke that up a little bit, but it's back. Breaking the Bread, Building the Body. That's the name of it. Reverend Alice Johnson Curl, preaching, music by a combined community choir, and the celebration of Holy Communion. So don't forget, that's August 6th at 6 o'clock at Word Tabernacle Church. So it appears that the state auditor has been back in our area. So she came back recently to visit Edgecombe County this time. Did an audit report per, again, complaints that her office received. When Beth Wood receives complaints from her office, she's going to respond to the public, because guess who she's employed by? We pay her salary. She is employed by the citizens, and she makes that known. I mean, she says that. So when she gets complaints, as she did from citizens of Rocky Mount, she's going to respond. So she did so in Edgecombe County, and let's see what her report, her findings, some of her findings were. It is a long report, but the North Carolina Office of the State Auditor initiated an investigative audit in response to 13 allegations received regarding Edgecombe County. Our investigative audit procedures included a review of applicable North Carolina general statutes, Internal Revenue Service guidelines, County Board of Commissioners meeting minutes, and county policies and procedures. Examination and analysis of available documentation related to the allegations. Interviews with past and present county officials and personnel, board members, and county vendors took place. This report presents the results of the investigative audit. So I have the audit, I have the report, and the response from the county also, and a response back from her. So this will take until next week to really get into the meat of the whole thing of this. But today we're going to talk about her findings and also her recommendations, because that's what state auditor does. She comes out, she audits, she tells you what you're doing wrong, and it's expected by the citizens especially that you do correct it. But some of these things, there's no sense in it. Some of the things that's going on that happened, I mean, it's just sloppy mess, unbelievable. And the federal withholdings for payroll tax, folks, the IRS doesn't play with that. You're supposed to pay your payroll taxes on time. They are due by the 15th of the month for the previous month's payroll taxes. Well, apparently that did not happen in Edgecombe County. So let's see. Withholdings were filed late for 16 of 36 which is 44% of the time, y'all. Withholdings were filed late for 16 of 36 regular monthly payrolls. Withholdings were filed late for 10 of 23, which is 43%, of miscellaneous payroll items. The withholdings were submitted between 1 and 68 days after the federal due date. Okay, that's bad enough, but here's the kicker right here. What does the government do? What does the government do when you're late? This is a wonderful way for the government to make money. So what do? They charge penalties and interest. So, guess what? The Edgecombe County was fined for all of these times. 16 times. It's nothing to sneeze at. And 10 times on some other counts. So yes, they were fined penalties and interest. Okay, let's think about this. Edgecombe County already tells us at the county commissioner meetings, we don't have money for this, we don't have money for that. We're Edgecombe County. We don't have money. Yet you're throwing away money on penalties and interest? Ugh. Well, anyway, let me tell you how much this penalty, let me tell you, Edgecombe County taxpayers, listen up. Let me tell you how much this resulted in $167,000. As a matter of fact, $167,602. It says this in the audit report, wasted on penalties and fees. That's the word the auditor used. Wasted on penalties and interest. This is not, and fees. This is not my words. This is the auditor Beth Wood's words in her finding report. As a result of the county filing withholding late during the period January 18th through December 2020, the county paid $167,602 in penalties and fees to the IRS. These funds could have been used for other county purposes. Well, sure they could, because do you know how many times Sheriff Clay Atkinson has stood in front of the commissioners and said, I need some new patrol cars? That's one thing we want to make sure we have. We want to be able to get the bad guys when we need to get them, right? And, one of the statements that was made by Edgecombe County, we drive cars, in Edgecombe County, we drive cars, this is kind of how they said it, we drive cars until the wheels fall off. Well, at that time I found it kind of funny. But it's not very funny when here's $167,000 in interest and penalties that Sheriff Atkinson could have bought a couple of cars. Just saying. So, Edgecombe County citizens, that's not all. That's not all. Okay. I'm just reading you the auditor's report. Caused by no oversight or accountability for late submissions. No oversight of it. Nobody checked anything. According to the former finance director, the payroll department was responsible for submitting the withholdings to the IRS. The payroll department reported to the former finance director, who reported to the county manager. The former finance director did not have any procedures to ensure that the payroll employee responsible for submitting for submitting the withholdings was submitting them by the federal due date. So who does this fall on? Who does this fall on? Well, the buck stops at the top. You know, you're responsible for your company. And let me just say, state auditors, I want you to understand that what they audit is not businesses. They audit government entities where tax money is at stake. That's where the state auditor comes in. It's government money, taxpayer, it's taxpayer money. That's where they get involved. And that's what the counties and cities and municipalities, that's what she audits. So that's the first thing in the finding. What we're going to do is take a break, and we're going to go to number 2, findings. Listen up, folks. She's back again, State Auditor Beth Wood and her team. So we'll be right back right after this. And good morning. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we have an investigative audit done by the State Auditor's Office, Beth Wood's office in Raleigh. She's back again in our community in Edgecombe County now, from 13 allegations that she received from the public. So she has come, and we've talked about the first allegation. We've talked about the first finding, which was a payroll issue. Payroll taxes were not paid on time to the IRS, resulting in penalties of $167,600, which could be used, as the auditor said, this money could have been used. If Edgecombe County is so strapped for money, they could have really used that money. But that's beside the point. What they did was wrong. Okay, so let's go on to number 2. County manager overrode policy for purchases totaling $5,669. The Edgecombe County manager overrode the county's purchasing policy related to purchases for catering services, totaling $5,669. As a result, the county cannot ensure that favoritism was not present in the purchasing process. The county manager disregarded the established county policy. Best practices identified by the Government Accountability Office required the county manager to lead by example, which would include following the established purchasing policy. And it tells you what the policy is. From July 2018 through June 2021, the county manager overrode the county's purchasing policy related to 3 purchases totaling $5,669. All 3 purchases were made from Pap's Catering, a company owned by the spouse of an employee of the county who served as the accounts payable clerk at the time of the purchases. Without first obtaining the required quotes or purchase orders, the county manager made the following purchases. One purchase to a service award luncheon, $2,600 he spent. Second purchase, a Christmas luncheon. And third purchase, service award luncheon. All 3 to Pap's Catering. According to the former finance director, the county manager made the purchases from Pap's catering without the former finance director's review and approval of the invoices, as required by the county's purchasing policy. She stated, so what happens is, they go back and interview previous employees, and this finance director's gone. She's not there anymore, or they're not there anymore, and were interviewed by the state auditor, and they told state auditor, I was never given, we're supposed to go, you're supposed to bid these things out. If you don't, it does show favoritism, and especially when it comes to a county employee's husband's or spouse's business. So, anyway, according to the former finance director, the county manager did not let her know. It is a she, because it says here, she stated that the invoices were paid because the county manager gave the invoices directly to the accounts payable clerk for processing and printing, and did not pass them through the finance director. Okay, so the purchases without verbal quotes and competition resulted in potential favoritism in the purchasing process. Seeking competition to local government purchasing is important to maintain the integrity of the purchasing process. Sure. Per the county's Financial Accounting Procedures Manual, the definition of competitive bidding is a procedure that is established to prevent favoritism, fraud, and imposition in the awarding of public contracts by giving notice to prospective bidders, and thus assuring competition, which is in turn guarantees fair play and reasonable prices in contracts involving the expenditures of a substantial amount of, what kind of money, y'all? Public money. Okay, so purchases made without any county manager passed it directly through to the accounts payable, said pay it, not going to send it through the process, didn't do the bidding process. Anyway, all right. So the county manager, this is her finding. The county manager disregarded the county's purchasing policy, which required an approved purchase order for purchases between $200 and $999 up to $1,000, and 3 verbal quotes is required for purchases from $1,000 to $5,000. So that did not happen. So he admitted to investigators, county manager did, that he was aware of the county's purchasing policy. Despite knowing the requirements for purchases, the county manager explained that for catering services, he did not follow the established policy. What else can you do? You caught red-handed, you got to say you did it. So he did it. According to the county manager, he did not get quotes for catering services. Instead, he obtained a price from the vendor that appeared reasonable. However, this selection process overrode the policy and controls in place for purchases. So, there you go. They did not practice the best practice management that is required by the GAO. So, all right, let's move on. I'm just trying to explain this in detail because I want y'all to understand what is going on in your local government with your tax money. Bank reconciliation not completed. Edgecombe County did not complete its monthly bank reconciliations for the disbursing and trust accounts As a result, the County Board of Commissioners did not have accurate, relevant, and timely information regarding the county's cash flow. Is that important? Goodness. In addition, there was an increased risk that accounting errors, theft, or misuse of cash could have occurred and not been detected. Bank reconciliations were not completed because the former finance director failed to implement procedures to ensure the reconciliations were completed. Additionally, the board and the county manager did not ensure that audit findings related to bank reconciliations were addressed. The North Carolina Local Government Commission, LGC, states that all bank statements should be reconciled promptly upon receipt to help identify any errors or discrepancies. Okay, so the bank statements were not reconciled, giving the commissioners maybe false information or them not being able to have the information that they needed for their commissioner meetings. But then again, it is thrown back on the commissioners to know that this is going on also, and the county manager. Sounds like the finance director, again, did not implement policies that should have been in place to have these bank reconciliations done. So bank statements not even reconciled properly. So how do you know how much money you have? How do you know how much money you're working with? How do the commissioners know how much, when they're telling people we don't have any money, how do they know what they have? I mean, bank statements not even reconciled properly. Well, anyway, so here is what the auditor says about that. It resulted in lack of accurate and relevant information. State auditor says, as a result of the county not completing bank reconciliations, the board did not have accurate and relevant information regarding the county's cash flow. The board relies on cash balances reported by the finance department to make decisions. Therefore, cash balances that are not reconciled to the bank balances could be being made with incorrect or irrelevant information. The county's financial auditors proposed significant adjustments to cash account balances fiscal years 2017 through 2021, which could have been avoided had the county completed the bank reconciliations. Also, it resulted in increased risk of error or fraud. Also, as a result of the monthly bank reconciliations not being performed, there was an increased risk that accounting errors, theft, or misuse of cash could have occurred and not been detected. Bank reconciliations could detect unauthorized payments or transfers. Bank reconciliations would have given the former finance director an opportunity to review transactions and to address any mistakes or variances in a timely manner. It was caused by failure by the former finance director. Bank reconciliations were not completed because the former finance director failed to implement procedures again. We said that earlier. She assigned the bank reconciliation function to the assistant. I'm sorry, y'all, this is on my phone because I didn't want to print it. There's pages and pages and pages and pages of it. So it would have took me all morning. So anyway, that's number 3. So we're going to take a break, and there's more. And this will go on into next week. Don't worry. There's some more, it's just so much to cover in one show. But anyway, I want some calls. 407-1111 when I get back. We're going to go to weather. We'll be right back. Call us. Edgecombe County, Tarboro, Rocky Mount, Nash County. We don't care. Give me a call. Let me know how you feel about this. This is your money that's just being thrown around and irresponsibly managed. We'll be right back on the Don Bullock Chevrolet Morning Show right after this.
This weather segment is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. Accepting cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards. New extended hours in 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville.
Time for another look at our weather, and let's go outside where we'll find the current conditions are exactly the same as they were before. 61 degrees, the dew point at 57, relative humidity 88%, winds calm, 30.15 is our barometer reading. But we do have some rain to the west of us. Some of that rain could work its way in later this morning and give us just maybe a tenth to a little more of rain, and then another round this afternoon. This is in connection with a system called a mesoscale convective vortex, and or MCV, and that is just to our west. Let's go to the radar and we'll see where this is shaping up. You can see it moving over Kentucky and into Tennessee. This is moving to the south-southeast, kind of like this. And we could see a bit of this come across our area this morning. And then later this afternoon, we could see just a little bit more. But this is going to be mainly to our west, where the western areas could pick up anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain later on today. Well, let's take a look at our forecast now for today. Slight chance of some rain this morning, and then slight chance this afternoon for some showers with a high of 80. For tonight, chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm with a low of 68. For Friday, mostly cloudy, showers likely, high of 80. Friday night, cloudy, chance of showers and storms with a low of 70. Saturday, partly cloudy, slight chance of showers and storms, high of 89. For Saturday night, partly cloudy, a low of 70. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 92. Sunday night, clear, a low of 73. And for Monday, sunny, a high of 93, and a low of 74 under a partly cloudy sky Sunday night. The average temperatures for this forecast period, the highs will average around 88 degrees and the low will average around 71. Looking at the Rocky Mount Almanac, the high temperature on this date occurred back in 1957, 102 degrees, and the low, 55 degrees, that was in 1985. Currently, 61 degrees. That's another look to local weather.
Okay, welcome back. I did have a call on the break, but if you want to call me now, 407-1111, you can. We're going to go on to number 4 real quickly before our time runs out. Number 4, county paid $100,000 for insurance costs for former employees. For employees, folks, that didn't even work there anymore. Edgecombe County continued to pay for insurance for employees after the separation from the county. Their separation from the county. I'm sorry, y'all. So that means I'm gonna have to find my place again. Just lost my place here, but so that means that they were still paying insurance for employees that did not work there anymore, and they were not supposed to be paying for anymore. So the county paid insurance costs for former employees because the former human resources directors did not notify the insurance provider that the employees had separated from county employment. In addition, the county did not have adequate review procedures in place before paying the insurance invoices. County procedures required the human resources director to remove separated employees from the county's insurance. They did not do so. This is from January 2020 through December 2021. And the state auditor says this resulted in $100,000 not available for valid county purposes. See, when they say at the county commissioners meeting, we don't have any money, we cannot help you, Sheriff Atkinson, with a new patrol car. We don't have any money. Well, I just found it. Right here. This is just, Okay. Let's move on real quickly to the next finding. County overpaid employees $21,000. Okay, y'all might say, well, that's just $21,000. $21,000 of taxpayer money is what it is. That Edgecombe County overpaid 12 employees a total of $21,983 from January 2020 through December 21. As a result, these funds were not available for valid county purposes. It's the same thing. The money could have been used for things that it needed to be used for. Instead, they're paying employees that don't even work there anymore, paying their insurance, and now they're overpaying employees. The county overpaid employees because the former finance director did not review the payroll to ensure employees were paid in accordance with the county's financial accounting procedures manual. Okay? Investigators examined 198 employees that separated from county employment between January 2020 and 21 and found 12 employees, 6%, who were not paid in accordance with the county's financial accounting procedure. One employee remained on the payroll after they left the company, and they were paid $15,000. They were overpaid $15,000 to an employee that didn't even work there anymore. Oh, golly day. Incorrect number of hours worked in a month for some of the other employees. They didn't even have the payroll records correct. Okay, we'll move on. This all resulted in $21,983 not available for valid county purposes. She says that on every one of them. Good morning. Hello?
Morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Yeah, I've been listening to all this stuff with the Edgecombe County audit.
Uh-huh.
And it almost sounds like they hired some of the people from Rocky Mount.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that there needed to be more oversight in Edgecombe County. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and you hadn't even got to the good part yet. I saw on Facebook they linked I saw on Facebook that CBS 17 had done a news report on the results of the audit.
Yeah.
There was apparently almost $10 million unaccounted for that disappeared right into the ether.
Well, as you said, I haven't finished the report yet, so let me get back to it and go through some of these things, okay?
Okay, anyway, have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll continue. Okay, number 6, 9.6, that was my next one. $9.6 million in budget amendments recorded without board approval. Goodness. Edgecombe County recorded 26 budget amendments totaling $9.6 million in their financial system during fiscal year 2021 without approval by the Board of Commissioners. As a result, there was an increased risk of the county paying for expenditures that the board did not authorize. Unapproved budget amendments were entered into the financial system because the county's procedures do not address how board approval is documented. Folks, I just said $9.6 million in expenditures that were not approved by the board. $9 million. Okay? I will repeat it. $9 million. Okay? So, state auditor says the county recorded budget amendments in their financial system that were not approved by the board. During the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2021, the purchasing manager posted 340 budget amendments, 340 budget amendments in the financial system totaling approximately $53 million. Okay, of the 340 budget amendments, the board was required to approve 158, totaling approximately $52.5 million before they were posted to the financial system. Investigators examined the budget amendment forms for all 158 budget amendments that required board approval and found that 16%, totaling approximately $9.66 million, were recorded in the financial system but were not approved by the board. These amendments changed the budget originally adopted by the board in the financial system without the board's knowledge. Okay, so the board has to approve the budgets. Nash County Board, City of Rocky Mount Board, City Council, Edgecombe County Board, I don't care what municipality. They have a board. They approve the budget. Well, $9.6 million didn't get approved. Okay. All right, we'll move along just quickly here. And remember, we'll keep going over this next week too. So that was the biggie. That was number 6, and that was really the last finding in here. In this. But the state auditor says, as a result of budget amendments recorded in the county's financial system without board approval, the county could have paid expenditures that the board did not authorize. This was caused by a lack of adequate written procedures. County does not have adequate written procedures to ensure that only board-approved budget amendments are recorded in the county's financial system. Specifically, the county's Financial Accounting Procedures Manual, which addresses budget amendments, does not address how board approval is documented. So, recommendation, the board should establish written procedures regarding budget amendments to ensure that there is documentation that they approved a budget amendment, such as signing the budget amendment form or documenting the amount of the approved budget amendment in the board meeting minutes. Okay, so just to wrap this up for today, there's your taxpayer money at work. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel in Edgecombe County about your tax money right now? we're glad that state auditor's there, and don't start talking to me. It would be the wrong thing to do to start calling me about the state auditor and some of her personal things that went on. That has nothing to do with her employees that came here to audit Edgecombe County. They're in the wrong, so let's get it right. Let's get it right. Good morning.
Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I live in Edgecombe County, but look,
Can you lower your TV, please, because it's feeding back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I live in Edgecombe County, so will all of that fall under the county manager? You know, the county guy that manages all that.
I would think it does fall under the county manager, and I'm wondering if he's still employed, but I think he is.
But the problem with the kind of money we're talking about, you got to get rid of some of these people. I mean, you can't have this kind of money running around. Somebody got to be accountable.
You're right. You're exactly right. You hit it on the head. So I don't know, County Manager Eric Evans. I don't know, I don't know what kind of behind the door discussions they've had, but, all of this falls back to the county manager. All of it. Because he's supposed to have oversight of his county.
I wouldn't care who it is or what it is. I mean, you're talking about money.
Yes.
All the time people have it.
That's exactly right.
This kind of money we're talking about, not only him, probably one that's under him.
Yes, and then, yeah.
Somebody should have caught this.
But see, the problem is, he's still there. A lot of these employees have left. The finance director is responsible for a lot of this. She's gone. They got another one now. She's not even there anymore.
Well, when did this happen? I just turned my TV on.
Okay, this is between 2018 and 2021. So see, and they've interviewed, the auditor's office interviewed this past finance director, and the finance director told them a lot of these things were not even passed through her. They went directly from the county manager to, in one of these findings, went directly from the county manager straight to accounts payable, and he said, pay it. Finance director never even saw these expenses, some of them.
Are those people still working there?
Well, the finance director's gone. They've got another one now. During this period, that finance director is gone. And so, what are you going to do? But the county manager is ultimately responsible for everything that goes on in the county office. So,
Is he still there?
Yes, he's still there. As far as I know, this morning he's still employed. But now they've had a meeting. They got together at Edgecombe Community College, and they had what you call a fix-it meeting. I read the Tarboro newspaper had in there yesterday. They've had a little meeting to try to fix the issues. They're talking now. They're trying to fix all these things. So,
well, what I'm hearing is, I think if ain't no fixing with this, probably need to get rid of the whole bus down there.
Well,
Hard as I work, I like to see my money going where it's supposed to go.
that's right. And I really appreciate your call, because you're right on the money. You are saying what a lot of other people are thinking this morning. Believe me.
Well, I look at them when sometimes they show the county commissioners and just like to do the city of Rockabouts. I have seen that kind of. I thought it was a pretty stayed-up guy. I don't know about now. But anyway, I try to keep. I don't look at y'all like you. I'm gonna see what's going on there.
Well, you better start back. You better start back watching. You're missing out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your call this morning. Bye-bye. Okay, we got to go. Got to do the K files. We're going to continue this. You know, I've read you most of the 6 findings, so you can kind of draw your own conclusions. But anyway, we're going to go. We're going to go to the K files. We'll be right back right after this.